Okay. And you know what I didn't do?
Mm,
Oh no, we're good. I didn't check audio, but we're fine.
let's do it.
All right, episode 12. We got a spicy one today. We're going to be doing an MLB tier list. But before we get into that, I didn't even say Siddhuey Review. Siddhuey Review, spicy one, tier list, episode 12, so forth, so on. Before we get into all of that, we're going to start off with some football. Today's the big kickoff.
It's the NFL opening day, bro. This is Ford F-150, Chevy Silverados. This is Americana. You know what I mean? This is getting on the back of a truck and just riding, baby. This if you don't love America, then today isn't going to mean that much to you. But if you have a little bit of red-blooded American in you, bro, this is our sport. Whether you like it or not, the NFL is America's sport. And it's returning tonight, baby. And it'll be a great weekend with the final game on September 11th. You know, the NFL likes to kind of, lean into the patriotism and all of that. So they'll have a bunch of flyovers. It's in New York City. It'll be a big thing. But man, this is just fun. Like, as for me, like, football is probably my third favorite sport behind basketball and soccer. Like, I enjoy football, but not to the degree like basketball and soccer. But bro, we got an opening night. Like, this should be exciting. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun. Come on now, Jimmy, get into it. Get in, lean into the football. You know what I mean?
No, no. I mean, if we're rating sports, it's pretty low there on for me. But
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like I said, I really enjoy it tonight. I can't wait to watch this game for 3 hours and just kind of like smoke it up and just enjoy. So this is awesome, and to show you to lead into this clip that we have on the screen. So one of the things that the NFL does every year is they take a team that did not make the playoffs the previous season and they follow them through preseason. So for 4 weeks, preseason is about 4 weeks. They follow them through preseason, and they post, and the show is posted on HBO Max. It's called Hard Knocks. So they follow an NFL team, and they just kind of go through it. So this year, the team that was chosen was the New York Jets, which is really intriguing because the Jets, signed Aaron Rodgers, right? I'm sure everyone knows Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback, all of that. They have a lot of talented players and a lot of expectation on the Jets. Now, if you followed Aaron Rodgers at all over the last few years, you will know that he is a cuckoo ass person. Okay, like he is just insane. Does a lot of hard drugs, and those hard drugs have taken their toll on his mind. So much so that he claims he saw a UFO. Listen to the clip and watch the nonsense.
We heard this sound and we saw this tremendously large object moving through the sky, and it was like a scene out of Independence Day. Whatever the hell it was, I don't know, but it was definitely unidentified. It was definitely flying. It was definitely a large object.
okay. All right, so
Go ahead.
two things. He references Independence Day, a movie.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, you said NFL follows. HBO follows. And I was wondering that. It's Hard Knocks. I've seen this before. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was a prior question I didn't get to ask.
But it should be noted. Sorry, it should be noted that yes, HBO follows, but the NFL is allowing them to produce this content.
Yeah. Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if the NFL was directing though, the quality would be a little lower personally.
Well,
I think
I
HBO does a
actually
good job on the documentary side of things.
They do, but I would only say Tubi, it's not an unfiltered look. Like you clearly are getting kind of what, and so that's
they're
what
getting
the
approval.
NFL.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
My
Sorry,
third
anyway,
thing, to do, Gotham City.
yeah, they wear
And
those.
I thought I
Gotham.
was like, am I reading that right? Now, do they not know that? I wish Nick D was here. Am I incorrect that Metropolis is New York? DC's map. Speaking of Blue Beetle, which we were talking about before we started recording,
Yeah.
those cities are always fictional. It's not Marvel's based off of art. I'm gonna wrong show to nerd out on, but I'm going to. Dude, Chicago, I think, is supposed to be Gotham City, or like Boston, not New York. New York would be Metropolis, where Superman is from.
I think probably like actually speaking, you are correct. Like probably, I don't like
Well, I can't wait
actually
for this next what he's gonna say next.
no, you're actually speaking. You are correct. But New York, for not just recently, but for a while, has adopted Gotham City as like
That's
a.
so dumb. But
I
I'm
know it's
sorry.
New York.
Yeah.
It's New Yorkers. Like they think they're the center of the entire universe,
But
dog.
then,
So like to
but Superman's the main guy. So if you were,
I know,
you're the center of the universe, the center of DC. This is such an
bro.
argument for the other show, but like,
No, I know.
it would be Superman. Jerry, you're here. Fix this.
So you're right, but to be think about it, what sounds cooler, Gotham City or Metropolis? Gotham City sounds way doper. So it's like you'd want to be associated with that. So New York for a long time like has been refers to itself as Gotham City. That is 100%. Like I'll watch.
Oh no, it
sports
says
shows.
yeah, you're right. But I thought, wait,
Bro, New York City, but your point is correct about the fact that like it's not accurate. But New York City again, they think Jared knows they think they're the center of the universe. So like to them, yeah, we are Gotham City. This is Batman, like whatever it is, like. But they always talk about it because I watch all the sports shows and they always like when you have a New Yorker on, he's like, "This is Gotham City. You gotta come in here and own it," and blah blah. So yeah, it's Gotham City. You know, it's New York.
so wait, maybe am I wrong then? Is Metropolis? Metropolis is New York in the daytime. Gotham City is New York at night. Okay. Well, that's ridiculous.
And I also say
Because
this
I know
to
that
you,
they're off. They're like Gotham. I thought Gotham was above. My bad. I thought Metropolis was above, and Gotham was below. And then to throw Blue Beetle in the mix, he's down like in like a Florida-esque area. It's very weird.
Miami.
It's like a futuristic Miami. It's very weird. They have a different name
Liberty
for
City?
it too.
Vice City? Vice City? Is that Vice City?
Liberty City, like it's great. They mixed in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But they call it something different. I need to like. I guess you know what? We'll save this conversation. We'll do it on over the show. Maybe we'll break down the maps. Jerry, write this down. We'll break down the maps.
I'll say
Jerry
this.
also said we are the center. Like now, Jerry's Mr. New York over
Yeah,
here.
Mr. New York over
Puts
here.
a pair of
Wow.
flooded pants on and G's McGee's.
I'll also say this. So when I have heard Gotham City, I've often heard it referred to the New York Knicks, right? Because the New York Knicks are truly the New York team that's in New York City, right? And the Rangers as well. The Rangers play at the Garden, right? But like the Knicks are, of course, they're bigger in New York than the Rangers. So the Knicks have always been referred to as like Gotham City's team. They're New York City's team. The Jets and the Giants probably shouldn't refer to themselves because they play in New Jersey, which is not New York City. So why would you be Gotham City?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Metropolis. Now, when you type in, first I typed in Gotham City, where is it based off of? Now I typed in Metropolis, what city is it based off of? And
Yeah.
this DC might be your issue of why Marvel's been kicking your butt for years now. It also says New York. So it's like Batman and Superman, who aren't in the same city, are in the same city. It's just, that's ridiculous. DC,
Ridiculous. I mean,
you guys got to reboot everything, bro. Get out of here.
I thought that you thought Gotham City was Chicago because The Dark Knight is filmed in Chicago. But I was like, why would two be referenced just one movie? Because
that is true, Siddhuey. That's why I threw out. I said Chicago or Boston. It would make more logical sense for Gotham City, on the grand scheme of things, to be Boston.
you know,
Also, how it
honestly,
looks all old and it's all like bricks and stuff. If you've ever been to Boston, Boston's really old. It's one of the first
Yeah.
cities in America. Now my whole world is shook right now with this information. I'm like actually.
No, you're right. It could, like, I mean, I guess from a geographical point of view, Chicago would make more sense than Boston, to be honest, because Gotham City is often shown as like a diverse kind of place. So, I mean, Boston's diverse. I'm really honest. That's the truth. But like, you know, it'd probably fit more in Chicago. But I don't know, man. I've always associated Gotham City with New York. I don't know why. I didn't even know that it was New York City, but I just always thought of it as New York City. Maybe just like the underbelly kind of being like this crime and all of that, you know, just feels New Yorky. But like that's a California kid speaking basically. Yeah, they all like the Jets have been wearing these Gotham City shirts, and I'm just like, eh, you're not really. You're more New Jersey, you know. So I don't know, but yeah, Gotham City, UFOs, Independence Day.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, you got a fucking map.
So Metropolis is New York City.
Yeah.
Dude, this map is crazy, and I will say no respect to the Blue Beetle because he ain't even down here. I guess he's a
No
newer comic.
respect to the middle of America. I mean, Jesus
No,
Christ.
dude, they did these 3 places here. These other places, they don't have enough population. Bro, we get into population. There's not enough population in any of these boink states to have any
I think,
superheroes.
isn't it most of the U.S. population is located on the eastern seaboard, which would be like New York City, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., all those areas? Like,
yeah, it's very similar to any, you look at Canada, they're all on the border. You look at Australia, they're all on the edge.
It's amazing that they have none in Miami. Like, bro, how do you not have a superhero in Miami, dog? Like,
well,
what the
this map might be dated. I was actually looking for a copyright date. This map might be older, before Blue Beetle was the thing. I don't know. Leave a comment and let us know. But do you think about it too? Like especially with DC and New York and stuff, or East Coast, it makes sense that a majority of the superheroes. Look how many superheroes are just in that zone.
I know, bro. It's the Eastern. Like I said, it just makes sense, bro. Like, the East Coast, especially if you're kind of early on, like that's kind of the hub of everything. So it's like it makes sense. Like that, the Eastern Seaboard has more of the population living there than any other part of the country.
Oh, this has the annual crime rate. Gotham City is horrific on its annual crime rate. 13,000.
Gotham City makes Baltimore look like Pleasanton.
All right.
Okay, like it's stupid. Like,
yeah, it's just ridiculous. All right. I had to ask, like, is that an official collabo too? DC should be hitting up the Jets for some,
because I know all of them use Gotham City, and I don't think DC has rights to Gotham City in that way, or like they all use it. I don't think they have any sort of partnership with DC at all.
But Gotham City's a made up. Whatever. All right, I'm done.
I don't know.
I don't want to get into this, but I ponder.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's the basic. I know that it'd be stupid for me to spend a lot of time going into like offensive line and defensive line play when it comes to the NFL, because I don't think the people listening to this show care about that. So I found this to be funny just because it's amazing. Like, this guy, when people forget, when he first came in the league and stuff like that, he was honestly seen as like one of the smarter players, someone who seemed really reasonable and nice. He said really kind and wonderful things about like inclusion and diversity, and then he just pivoted into being a bro Rogan, and this is where we're at now, and it's a shame, but it happens to the best of us. Look at Kanye West as an example.
Well, I don't.
Next story,
I think maybe they're both from drug use. I don't know. Kanye obviously has some trauma, some family trauma, and other things. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever, bro.
Let's just move on.
I'm not gonna die on that hill today. All right, next topic.
Next topic. So I wanted to bring this up because I'm like, what could be interesting for people who possibly listen to the show that could be, kind of like an inroad into the NFL. So I brought up the Cowboys because if you are a real American.
Oh my God! Siddhuey has hit the real American. Take a shot every time he says it.
It's NFL opening day, bro. All right, take a shot anytime Siddhuey says, real American, Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado. Anytime I say any of those things,
Bro Rogan.
Bro Rogan is NFL, bro. It's NFL. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is one of the great real American traditions is to laugh at the Dallas Cowboys. Because the Dallas Cowboys have a habit of every season coming in with high expectations. You saw the headline to this article. the quarterback, Dak Prescott. My confidence in the offense at an all-time high. Look at this guy, all-time high, right? He's so confident. Their defense is considered going into this season as the best defense in the NFL. So you take a defense that's considered the best in the league, you pair that with an offense where the quarterback has his comfort in the offense at an all-time high, and all of a sudden you're thinking Super Bowl, right? What the Cowboys will invariably do is they will get close, and then they'll fail in the most spectacular fashion. And it is one of the great joys of being a real American to laugh at them once they capitulate at the end of a season. And this will happen. So if you really want to enjoy the Cowboys, follow them on their journey. The great thing with the Cowboys is they're talked about more than any other NFL team. When you think about American brands,
They're
right?
America's team. Isn't that the nickname?
Yeah, that's the name they give themselves, America's team. They are like the Yankees, the Cowboys, and the Lakers, to me, are the three premier sports brands in America.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yankees for baseball, Lakers for basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Always-
the Lakers is hard because I think it's partially tied with the other guys, and I know you're gonna go no, but
right.
it's like
I would
Celtics Lakers are kind of almost even.
It's true. I think the Lakers, though, because of their success since 2000
Yes.
on to now,
They've
has
kind
been
of taken it. Yeah.
kind of taking it. But I wouldn't argue your point.
Would
Your
you
point's
also
correct.
say that like the Dodgers are kind of sneaking up on the? You don't think so? Man, you see a lot of talk about Dodgers. You see that a lot of people. Well, we also live on the West Coast, so we see a lot of it.
We're also in the market where their greatest rival plays, so we are going to naturally
yeah.
a little bit more than we're going to hear about other teams. I don't think so, bro, because nothing moves numbers like the Yankees. You put the Yankees on in the playoffs, they're going to do better numbers than the Dodgers, I promise you. 110%.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
I mean, and you also got to think too, like if you asked a random person who doesn't watch any baseball, and you ask them like, "Hey, who do you think the best team in baseball is?" They probably go, "Probably the Yankees." I assume.
100%.
You naturally associate
100%.
the Yankees with success. So
Yeah.
no, I don't think the Dodgers get there. It's like
But with football, it's just the Cowboys, really, right? Am I wrong to say that? They're kind of like there's a distance between them and the next best team. I guess iconic would be Green Bay.
Well, see, to me, Green Bay, Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Maybe to a much lesser extent the Raiders, but the Steelers and
Raiders. Yes, I do.
Yeah, the Steelers and the Packers, for example, are huge fan bases. They have their massive brands, right? But I would liken them to the Red Sox or the Celtics, right? As like, yeah, you're top, but you're still like just a slight bit below the top guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're popular, but you're not, the creme de la creme, or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
iconic logos have a lot to do with it too, which we'll get into with baseball later.
Yeah, they do.
You've traveled out of the country. I've traveled out of the country, and it's crazy when you go somewhere and you're not expecting to see local teams. And like when I was in Australia, man, I saw hell of folk wearing Raider gear, and I would always be like Raider Nation or whatever, right? And they would like what? And it's like they bought that because the pirate.
Right, they bought the logo. Look,
Not
bro,
at all.
Al Davis, for all of his problems and stuff that he had, there were two things I think Al Davis that really was really good about it. One, he was one of the first to really push with diversity. The Raiders had black coaches. They would hire women to be like in executive positions. The Raiders have been on the cutting edge of diversity in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. That's one thing. Like, if you're a Raider fan, you can kind of take pride in that. Like, bro, we're the team that actually like likes black fans and like Latino fans and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, we really kind of bring that a part of our our whole fan base. So you have that part of it, and the second part is Al Davis understood football. He understood branding, and the Raiders with that logo and that silver and black, like those colors, right? The just win baby, like, bro, that's iconic imagery. You know what I mean? That's iconic imagery. And I think, to a similar extent, the Steelers with their little 3, logo. And then, of course, how much they feel tied to the steel mills of Pittsburgh. And like all of that feeling,
iconic,
right?
Iconic.
The Packers, Cheesehead and all of that. I think
Packers, too, iconic. Super iconic.
So I feel like
Niners a little bit too, though, man. I feel like they're a modern day iconic.
I mean, look, post 1990, they've been just huge. You know what I mean? Obviously, because of Joe Montana era and all that kind of stuff.
Young.
But still, to me, and they're massive on the West Coast. Like, don't get it twisted. They are the biggest team on the West Coast right now with their fan base. But nonetheless, when you talk about nationally, I still think they're trumped by the Steelers, Packers, and of course the Cowboys, who are, bro. I don't care what family you're in. You probably have some uncle or someone who likes the Cowboys. That's a fact. You know what I mean? They're just so widespread. You know, so like yeah. Anyway, but they're gonna fail again spectacularly this season. So enjoy it.
Not in my family, but yeah, I know what you're saying. My family, like my cousins, are like, "What are you even talking about? We watch AFL."
In my family, right? Like, my dad's a Niners fan. My brother's a diehard Raiders fan. My mom's a Cowboys fan.
Sean, my dog. And you're a Titans fan.
Yeah, I'm a Titans fan. It's weird. But my mom, like, she's a diehard Cowboys fan. My uncle, diehard Cowboys fan. Like, they love the Cowboys. Because you got to remember, bro, when they were coming up, when my mom moved to America in the mid-'80s, right? So when she came to in the mid-'80s, the Cowboys were everything. And you also have to remember the reason the Cowboys became so popular was they were obviously good, right? They've been good for a long time, especially like the 70s, 80s. They were really, really good. But the difference was NFL wasn't broadcast nationally back then. Like, it wasn't like a widespread broadcasting that we have. So the only national games, one of the only national games that everyone saw were Thanksgiving Day games. Mm-hmm. That was the one where the entire country would all sit there with their families on Thanksgiving and they watch football. And the team that always played on Thanksgiving, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys started to gain a huge following from that, right? And again, we talk about iconic logos, iconic images, like in brands. Bro, that star on that helmet is iconic.
Yeah.
Like, it just is, bro.
It's the pinstripes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Like, their home jerseys, like, they wear white with like turquoise pants, but it just seems to work somehow. Like, I don't know. They have a great brand. So the Cowboys, bro, I think the last time I checked, the Cowboys are the most valuable sports brand, period, including soccer.
Really?
Yes, they are the most valuable sports brand, period. They're that big, bro. The Cowboys are huge.
Where's Heligrip on that list?
Probably third behind Real Madrid. You got
Siddhuey. Cowboys, Real Madrid, Heligrip. I like that. There we go. There we go.
Icons.
Number one extreme sports brand.
The three kings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The kings, yeah. But anyway, that's just the first. By the way, the first game tonight is actually Chiefs-Lions. The Lions, also another team that plays on Thanksgiving, but because they sucked so much, no one really became a fan. But they are kicking off tonight, so that's at 5:15 local West Coast, 8:15 Jerry. So check it out. You know,
and these are our standings right now.
Yes, these are our standings. We'll start to see those ones, those zeros, ones by, as this weekend kind of filters through. So
yeah, right now it's a blank slate. Well, it's cool to pull it up and see it.
Everyone's a winner right now.
Everyone's a winner.
No one's a loser. But that way, no one's a loser.
Let's go Raiders. Yeah. Let's go Raiders. Las Vegas, baby.
They're in for a tough season.
Gambling.
They're in for a tough season. The one that'll be interesting, actually, is the Niners, because everyone has high hopes on the Niners. I'm actually a lot more down on them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them this season. But if you ask like Fats and stuff, he's thinking Super Bowl. I'm thinking they may not make the playoffs. So let's see.
Well, that's interesting. You heard it here first, Fats.
You heard it here first,
You heard it here first, Fats. I hope you listen to this later. Siddhuey said you ain't even making it. And we all know Austin's favorite team. It's interesting. It's Austin's favorite team, but Addie lives there. Is the Seattle whatever their name is, the Seahawker Fields.
Seahawks, they're actually going to be pretty decent this year. I think. I think they could win the division.
Yeah, Austin's favorite team. And you got Jerry's favorite team, the
Vikings. Who are heavily favored to win this weekend, I believe. They're playing the Buccaneers. I think they're heavily favored to win. And they're now in a division. Remember, Aaron Rodgers has left. The Bears are still rebuilding. they should be really well placed to win the division. I mean, the Lions are going to be contending with them as well, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Vikings win the division this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look out. They won it last year, so probably can win it again.
All right, let's move on to the
Yeah.
NBA.
So what's going on right now in the NBA? So they're actually the World Championships. This is not the Olympics. The Olympics are going to take place in 2024, if I am correct. And so right now what we have are the FIBA World Championships. This is essentially a competitive tournament that kind of primes everyone for the Olympics to come. Now it should be noted that a lot of the players, the NBA players that you will see playing in the Olympics, are not playing currently in the FIBA World Championships. As an example, Steph Curry is projected to be playing in the Olympics with the U.S. men's national team, right? But he is not a part of the FIBA World Championship team. Part of that is because Steph doesn't need to prove himself to make the team, right? So a lot of the guys that you see playing on the FIBA World team are like guys who want to prove to the coach, hey, I want to make the team in the Olympics. Steph Curry doesn't need to prove it to anyone that he's one of the best players. He's going to make the team, obviously, right?
As he should.
So, as he should, and he'll actually be probably the captain of the team, I think.
Who's coaching the Olympics?
Steve Kerr.
Is coaching the Olympic team as well?
Steve Kerr is coaching. He's coaching this FIBA World Cup team.
I know.
I
saw that. Yeah.
And he's also coaching the Olympic team. So he's going to be taking the U.S. men's team all the way through the Olympics. Whether or not he stays after that is kind of up to him and the U.S. Federation, basically. But that's what's going on right now. So the reason I bring this up was Team USA lost their last game.
Against who?
So Lithuania. So the reason Team USA will probably win this tournament. Probably. I want to get to that in just a second. Team USA traditionally, going back to about 2008, 2012, they have lacked quality big men. Just think to yourself, how many great American big men are there? Right? Most of the great big men are usually from other countries, right? Now you can talk about Anthony Davis, but he's always injured, doesn't really play, right? Bam Adebayo is good.
Oh, you meant currently playing? Currently
playing, and just for the last decade. We are not producing in this country the kind of big men that succeed on the international stage, right? Because the rules are a little bit different. There's a little more physicality on the international stage. So we're not producing American big men that can do that. So what we have often done when we go to these tournaments is we kind of stack up on guards and wings, right? And we almost look at teams and go, hey, we know you're going to out-rebound us, but we're going to out-skill you like crazy, and we're going to win that way, right? We're going to go small, and we're going to beat you. And traditionally that has worked for the U.S. men's team, because even when they go small, they're usually putting players out there like LeBron James or Kevin Durant. So you're not that small, you know what I mean? But it's changing. They play Lithuania, who has a lot of size. The U.S. don't. Lithuania beat them up on the inside, got a lot of rebounds, and also hit their threes. That's why they won the game. The interesting thing about this is they're playing Germany now, and Germany is equally as big as Lithuania. They don't shoot as well, which means they probably will lose, but they're really, really big. So this is going to be an interesting test for the United States team. Here's the most interesting part about the FIBA World Cup. The U.S. team should get to the finals, and if they do, they will play Canada. So you might be thinking to yourself, oh, Canada, that's not that big of a deal to beat them. Bro, Canada's got a squad now. You know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Here it is right here, Siddhu. I got it for us.
Yeah, so that's the bracket right now. It's Serbia, Canada. Now, I should say, Serbia would normally be – sorry, go ahead. You're about to say something.
For Canada, isn't what's his name from Memphis, or formerly from Memphis? Isn't he –
Dylan Brooks
and he's still saying dumb shit.
He's still doing dumb shit. So normally speaking, if this were the Final Four in the Olympics, heavily favored would be Serbia and USA. And the reason for that is Serbia has Nikola Jokic, right?
He's not playing.
But he's not playing right now, so they're a much weakened team without their MVP, right? So Canada, however, has a good squad. So here's some of the Canadian players these are NBA players that you may not think or may not know are Canadian. Jamal Murray is a Canadian basketball player.
I think I knew that,
right?
Yeah, Jamal Murray.
Dylan Brooks, as you just mentioned.
I didn't know Dylan Brooks was Canadian. That's wild, bro.
I think he's from Toronto, I want to say. So he's Canadian.
His personality isn't Canadian, I'll tell you that much.
No, his personality is like, I don't know, it's weirdo.
Gotham City.
Canada has Canada probably has the best player in the tournament right now, which is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He plays for Oklahoma City. You may know that Shea
I've heard the name.
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is pretty easily right now a top 10 NBA player, top 11 at worst, top 12 I guess at worst. But he's a top 10 NBA player. So Canada's bringing a pretty big gun to this tournament, and this guy is
Well,
killing it right
Siddhuey, we don't have guns in the
Sorry,
NBA, bro.
that's a good point.
We've learned our
They've brought a
lesson.
great player to the tournament. Okay, I'll just say that. They've got a great player to the tournament, and this guy, could possibly beat the U.S. The reason the U.S. generally wins these tournaments too, also, is that they have much better than other international teams. Right? Their bench players are also NBA players. Even if you take a Serbia or like something like that, or Lithuania, their starting five might be NBA players, but their bench usually isn't.
Yeah.
So when the bench is in the game, that's usually where the USA takes over, right? Because they have a bunch of great players playing against shitty players that dominate them. Canada does have NBA players on their bench. I don't expect the U.S. team to kind of floor them when their bench is playing in the game. So the final could be really interesting. It'll be early morning on Sunday. So if you want to watch it before football Sunday, USA Canada will probably be the final, and you get to enjoy a great rivalry, bro. Because the USA Canada, should be pretty fun, I think.
They're both North America. It's a win either way.
They're both North America, but it'd be so funny if Canada won, bro. They're like, we are the world champions in basketball, not you. You know what I mean?
But what's funny though is that the Canada plays in the NBA, so
yeah, Toronto is in the NBA,
and they've only won a championship once, right? And that was a robbery, bro. I want them to look into those refs. I was there in person. I tell you what, man, I've never seen a robbery like that. That giant big hand freak of a monster human being. Never forget. Never forget.
their title, I mean, look, anyone who watched that 2019 title knows that, hey, if the Warriors were healthy, we're probably not talking about the Canadian team having an NBA championship. So, I think everyone kind of recognizes that. But, look, they won. It's on there. They had the banner in the arena, so whatever. But this will be an interesting game. I'm actually going to try to wake up for it and see if I can check it out because I think it should be fun. I mean, Anthony Edwards versus Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, sign me up, bro. That should be a fucking great game.
And who's playing for USA? Give me a quick little rundown. Who we got on there?
USA's star player is Anthony Edwards. He plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah. Okay.
They've also got guys like Austin Reeves, Lakers. They got Paolo Banchero on the team. Tyrese Halliburton's on the team. Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram. Yeah, I'm a fan.
But he's really struggling, by the way. Very much struggling. Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, Jaren Jackson. On the team. Yeah.
I'm not going to go the whole roster, but
yeah, that's some good names. That's some good names.
Those are the level of players that you're talking about. Yeah. Josh Hart's on the team. So, I mean, like I said, when you think about it, Anthony Edwards is their best player, which he's really good, and he's really, really good. But in the Olympics, it's going to be a lot different because now Steph Curry is your best player. So now you're going with a top guy, and you're going to need that probably. If Serbia brings Jokic, bro, you're going to need them top players, okay? Because Serbia's got guys, trust me. They got Bogdanovic, you know what I mean? They've got, like I said, they have two Bogdanoviches actually. And they've got Jokic, they're going to be a big problem in the Olympics. Big problem. So Steph Curry needs to save us, basically.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Natalie Portman.
Yeah. Queen
Amidala.
I only want to touch on this briefly because it's depressing, and who wants to talk about depressing topics? You can just focus in on her lovely face. Sorry, you're getting a divorce, Natalie Portman. I hope everything works out for you.
Her and the dancer are getting divorced, huh?
Yeah, the dancer cheated on her, so
no way. Cheating on Queen Amidala? What an idiot.
I mean, apparently, from what I was actually very interested in this because I like Natalie Portman. I've grown up with her. Apparently they were already separated prior to that, but he did have an affair with this young French woman still, and then I guess that's when she was like, okay, I can't do this anymore, and they broke up. So she's single now. So shoot your shot if you have the chance.
I'm up in there.
But the reason I wanted to bring this up was last week we talked about Luis Rubiales and Jenny Hermoso. It was the guy who's without consent, kissed that woman when she had won the World Cup.
We
So
covered it
just a
last
little,
week.
yeah, just a little status update. The woman, Jenny Hermoso, has now filed a claim, filed like a suit against him, alleging sexual assault. So that case will now be trying to be going forward. And the reason I brought up Natalie Portman was Natalie Portman has been a big proponent of women's soccer. She actually owns a team in the women's league here in the United States. It's called Angel City FC is the name of the team. So she's the co-owner of that team, and so she's very much interested in U.S. women's soccer and just soccer general, women's soccer generally. So she made a long statement about how she was supporting Jenny Hermoso and the women in Spain as they take this fight against Spain. So just another big person wading into this whole thing. But that's all I really have to say about it. Nothing more to cover. But
That's interesting. I didn't. Huh.
yeah,
The interesting part was the she owns a team here in the U.S. That's
yeah,
interesting.
she owns a team, and yeah, she's like I said, she's really into women's soccer. I've actually, I think her sons, I think she has, are also just into soccer in general. But yeah, she's really into women's soccer, and she's often tweeted about it. So yeah, shout out to her.
Addy's here. He's late to the party. Which MLB logo are we going with? Aren't there multiple versions
Let's
of
do
each
that.
team? Yada yada yada. A's and the elephant on the baseball, or A's with the circle. And then he said Natalie Portman back on the market. All right, Addy, we're about to get into that. But before we get into that, let's do a quick MLB. Just look at the stats, what we got going on here. We got Baltimore just smoking it, which is interesting. Tampa Bay not playing bad.
They're starting to turn it around. I know the Rangers recently, they've been on a recent slump, but they had a walk-off win a couple nights ago with actually a really cool home run if you want to go check it out. And they're kind of maybe turning it back around, but they've been in a slump recently, so we'll see what happens with them.
Atlanta.
Yeah, man, the Orioles are playing. Yeah, Atlanta's been good, all season. I think they've had the best record throughout the year. So they're coming up, and then, the Dodgers are still out
not
there.
Bad. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, I think the Braves are going to be favored in the NL, and I think in the AL, you're probably going to see the Orioles or the Rangers that are making a late push could get favored too. So
we need to win 2 games, so we're better than the Kansas City.
Houston's always lurking there, and you can never count them out because they always have.
But Houston is the biggest pieces of shit in all of the MLB.
Yeah,
I hate Houston. Can't stand them.
That's because they cheat, So
yeah, they cheated against us, and that's why. Yeah, I don't even get me started. All right, well that's interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see Boston and Yankees at the bottom here of the AL East.
It's been surprising. A horrible year for the Yankees. Yeah, it's been a horrible year for the Yankees, especially. And I mean, the Boston, it's a little more understandable. Boston a couple of years ago traded their best player to the Dodgers for nothing. I mean, it was so stupid. So they've kind of just lost their way a little bit as a franchise. The Yankees, they gotta retool, man. Like it hasn't. I mean, they got some decent bats in the lineup, but their pitching and stuff needs work. So
Boston was selling more hats and jerseys when they were the shitty team that never could win, so they're trying to go back to that.
maybe maybe the Cubs can follow them too in that same path.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the standings. Giganto's not doing too hot. They're at 70. Not looking good. I don't know if they're going to be playoff band. What, maybe be in the play-in?
They can make the wild card. It's going to be tight though. The NL is really good, dude. I mean,
the NL is better than the AL right now.
The thing you got to remember in the NL is you look at the NL Central. I think if you're looking at it, the Pirates are 4th in the division, but they're only 1 loss away from the Giants. I think, right? Or a few losses from the Giants. So you're talking about the 4th team in the Central is still close enough to make a run. So I don't know if the Giants are going to make the playoffs with their current record. They're going to have to push here, But anyway.
And Addy's saying dumb shit about being a Mariners fan, and I'm not even going to acknowledge his comment. And just for that, Addy, before we even start this, Seattle's going into D. So they do have another list just like this with the alternative logos, but I figured it'd be smart for us to just do the traditional logos.
Yeah, I mean that's what I know, and I feel like I can. Yeah, let's do this for sure. So I think we all know where the first one's going, but I'll
S baby, S baby. I mean, it's no more iconic than that.
Bro, there's nothing. You can't. It's going to be the number one on our list. Well, I mean, we're partial to the A's, me and Tubi, so we'll probably move that ahead of the Yankees. But if we're being like impartial, it's obviously the Yankees number one.
I mean, dude, I hate to say this, but like even the Mets logo, I'm not saying it could be easily an S too. It's iconic.
It is iconic. I mean,
But I'll put it
it
back
is. Yeah, let's
Let's
get
go
a
in
shake
order.
down.
Let's go in order. All right, so we're keeping Seattle in the bottom though, just because screw Addy.
That's fine. Yes.
Rays is whatever. I would say it's a D. It's just a stupid font. Don't care.
Also, never liked the fact that they switched from the Devil Rays to the Rays. I get it; they don't want a name or something, but like it's lame. So I don't like the Rays.
Yeah.
Some of the Sun Rays.
Rays are dumb.
I think this is a pretty iconic logo right here, bro.
I go A.
Yeah, I think it's an A tier for sure. Yeah,
It's A. It's not S, but it's A. Mariners C. Or Miami. My bad.
I would probably put that D because that's just a weird looking logo. I think they had a better one in the past. They've revamped it, and I don't like the revamped one.
Okay. Cardinals.
This is iconic.
I'd say B. Maybe A.
So like I'm just judging this on like how do they look, right? And like the Yankees, granted, like there is an iconic nature to it. The Cardinals are a very iconic franchise, right? I'm not a big fan of their logo, but I do think it's deserving of at least A.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna put the Blue Jays at A,
Addy's saying A as well.
Yeah.
He said he thought Miami should be in C.
We could put them at C. My biggest complaint is I think their rebrand has not caught me, so I don't like their rebrand.
Yeah, the old logo was better. Houston's a D. Look at Houston and Seattle. Look at this.
I'll say this about Houston though. This is the only thing I'll say about Houston, right? And the Mariners does make sense, Seattle, whatever. But the Astros, like that looks like a sheriff badge, which is dope. Is dope. Like that's exactly what they're kind of going for. It's Houston. Like I like that, but it's still stupid. Wow, Braves vaulting right up there.
Dude, that logo and seeing that jersey as a kid.
Yeah.
It's iconic, dude.
It's true.
It's a very iconic.
Really?
The
Cardinals? The Cardinals are very fucking historic franchise.
What's the team that Charlie Sheen plays for in Major Leaguers? It's what?
It's the Cleveland Indians, which is no longer a team.
That was it. That was, yeah, that one's iconic too. I don't know why I thought it was the Braves. All right, I'll put the Braves in A.
I almost we also got to talk about how the Braves have a little bit of a.
Yeah. We know. We know. I mean, so do the Warriors. Like, they need to do something too. I think they need to change it to Golden State in San Francisco. I don't care anymore. It makes my stuff iconic.
I was thinking more of the Atlanta Braves and like the Native American, like the use of Native American.
But the Warriors did that too for a long time.
They did. They don't do that now. The Braves still just sit there tomahawk during the game. You know what I mean? Like bump them down to B. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. It's an iconic.
The logo's good. Yeah, the logo's A.
I get it, Stu, but some of that, like, dude, Native American art is badass.
It is.
It's badass.
You just hope they don't co-opt it the way.
Yeah. They need to be given like a share of like sales of the logo to a local tribe for sure.
Yeah.
But their art is badass. Like the tomahawk is a badass like looking logo, dude. You know?
I mean, it is. You're right. I'll leave it at A. I'm fine with A. Let's leave it at A. That'll work for me. This Oriole one though, that's got to go C. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
It looks silly.
This is what? This is
Hard D.
This is Indians?
That's the Guardians now.
Yeah, formerly known as the Indians, right? Yeah. Okay. Hard D here. Addy, we're not there yet. When we get there, we'll talk about it. The Warriors have. He's like A's. If Houston's a D, then the A's have to be a D. And I already have an argument ready for that. And the Warriors used to use, even when they first moved to San Francisco, they used it was a headdress logo, if I'm not mistaken. And when we and BK first got tickets, there was throwback clothing at that point in time, which isn't that long ago, of the Native American stuff. They've since, I think, now that especially since they've moved to San Francisco and stuff, they are not playing that up at all. They have totally, you ain't gonna find that right now. But 10 years ago, they definitely were still doing throwback Mitchell and Ness stuff that had Native American logos on it for the Warriors. I'm 100% positive on this. I know BK would probably agree. We used to, because me and BK would go to the store and just to browse every now and then. They'd have like little sales and stuff, because this is when the Warriors were not championship bound, you know? So there'd be little sales and stuff, and we'd like go look and see what they got. You know, I got a couple nice jerseys, especially when Monte left. I got 2 Monte jerseys on dirt cheap, on some dirt cheap stuff. Detroit is a iconic logo.
Yep.
I'd say B, though, because it's not much effort. It's just
There's not much effort. And I feel like the Tigers as a team and a franchise are very iconic. Like Tiger Field, Old Tiger Field and stuff. But the logo is all we're judging here. And so for that, I'm with you. It's a B. It may be an A, but
let's keep it in B. Kansas City, I'd also say B.
I almost want to put that at C.
C? Okay. All right, let's do. We'll go C. Let's go top of C, though, because they are royal.
Yeah, it's better than the other two.
I like the crown, the royal, the royal blue. Like they're playing off some stuff. Kansas City, it works. Milwaukee, I put this in B because it makes sense with the beer.
Same, and I think it's the logo's nice, but also the Brewers have done a great job with like the presentation of their game. Remember, I think they had a slide back there or something in the Brewer field, right? They also had the little race around with the funny men, right, where they race around the park and stuff, like, which is really cool.
We do that too.
So they have they do, I think they're the first ones to do it. But like, it's a pretty cool thing, and but the logo probably a B. Cool franchise though.
Angels, I hate the Angels, as we all know. It's a pretty iconic logo with the
Angels in the outfield. I think elevated the logo, bro.
And it just makes sense. Like they didn't put a giant angel flying down or something lame. Like they just put the little thing on top of the A. You know it when you see it. Mm-hmm. Now, all right, here we are, Addy. We're right there, and here's why this is S tier. Name another professional sports team with green
and gold.
Is there one, Siddhuey?
No. Well, let me think of like professional
in America, because Australia it's very popular.
You have to make it green and gold. You make green and the other Celtics.
Oh, that's true.
Right, you're gonna have the Celtics in there. If you get to the NFL, you're talking about the Eagles, the Packers, right? All wear green. The Jags wear green. The green and gold is what separates. Right? I personally think it's an S tier logo.
Oh, Green Bay.
Very biased.
Green Bay too.
I'm very biased towards this logo because
okay.
I mean, it's my heart, dog. This is everything. Like,
let me go a step back. Name a baseball team with green in its logo. One.
There isn't.
How many is red and blue? How many are red and blue?
Everyone's red.
Every single one.
So I'll say this for Addy's point. Like the Astros logo is dope. It is dope. There's no the star, the shortest logo. It is dope.
It's going to C.
But fuck those cheaters.
Yeah, I hate them. I hate them.
Fuck them. I'll put them at C, but like that logo now, when I see that, I see cheaters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hate that logo. I hate that logo. And you know what? I'm not changing this either, just to spite you, Addy. Seattle's staying in the bottom. All right, Philly. Philly's pretty iconic.
Oh, it's perfect. As a logo, it's perfect. You know the Liberty Bell. You 100% can identify the Liberty Bell. It's right there. It's the Phillies. Like, to me, them being red, white, or blue makes a lot of sense. Like, Philadelphia, 100%. You know what I mean? So, I like it. I'll say this. Like, because it's the Liberty Bell and you can and totally identify Philadelphia Liberty Bell, it's probably an S tier. But, man, the Braves and the Cardinals are looking at the Phillies right now like, yo, what the fuck? How are they ahead of us, Which I kind of get. Like, it's tough,
Pirates?
But Pittsburgh, B. To me, the Pirates are similar to the Detroit Tigers. Iconic team. Iconic franchise in a lot of ways. But the logo itself, you know,
San Diego is going to the bottom because
D,
they could do
D,
something cooler than this with being the Padres. They could have a better logo.
100%.
Texas
The
bottom.
bottom, because here's the thing with Texas. You're the Rangers, but you don't have like anything in that logo that tells me, Texas Ranger. It's just red, white, and blue. You could have done so much more with that logo, bro. So much more. So yeah, that's iconic. There's nothing we can do.
Red
That's
Sox got to
iconic.
be up there. They got to be up there.
They're too iconic, yeah.
Giants gonna go to C.
I was-
I mean, I honestly want to put the Giants in freaking D, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and put them in C.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Giants logo,
It's
but
a
that's
ball.
more to do with personal. It's just
How many of these teams have a ball? Like, you know what? I give A's props for not putting the ball in the center. The A's should get extra points for not doing that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you got the Rangers, you got the Giants, you got the freaking Toronto, and the Yankees. Yankees get a pass because they're the originators of it, And same with the Mets. Like I would put the Mets at least in A.
I put them in A. I wouldn't put them in S. It's tough to me to put them in S just because here's the thing about the Mets logo. You can 100% identify it's New York City, right? With the buildings in the background, it's New York City. You know what I mean? I think there's a strong case to be made that it's S, but if you're putting we have the Cardinals and the Braves over there in the A tier, I think I'm fine with the Mets being in the A tier.
I think it's up here. It's towards the front though. I maybe in the middle of the birds.
The way I would organize it is have the Mets first in the A tier, then you have the Cardinals, Braves, and then you can either choose if the Blue Jays or the Angels come.
Blue Jays over at Angels. And to answer Jerry's question, the Pirates did it first. Jerry's saying, why isn't the C up here? The Pirates did it first. And that stands for it's Pittsburgh Pirates.
I also give them credit because I also give them credit for this reason. So like the San Diego one, it's the font, if you compare it to like the D or whatever, or the P, it's so basic font compared to those, right? The CR for the Colorado is pretty cool. But the reason I like the Detroit and the Pittsburgh and the Milwaukee one is the colors. The yellow, that gold color there, the Pittsburgh, the blue. Go ahead, what are you gonna say?
No, I read Addy's comments that he's got right here. You got to hear him. Dude, if we're taking colors into account, then you got to put the bitch ass Giants and Orioles credit for using Halloween colors, unless you're too spooky for you. I see that we put them next to each other, and I'll say this.
Tier, but I mean, bro, that Orioles logo, that guy looks like he's. I mean, that Orioles logo could be on like a banana or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like a happy little like toucan.
I think
like an Oriole.
I think the Mets orange with the blue looks better than the Giants orange with the black, because 100%. I connect it to Halloween. It's like that looks like whatever. Dodgers is just kind of a C at most for me.
Really?
It's iconic. I get it, but once again, it's just a ball.
Dude. I don't know how you can't put the Dodgers lower than the Detroit Tigers.
Okay, I'll put them above the Tigers in B.
And I can't put them lower than the Angels.
Really? I think the Angels logos it plays off the name a little bit more. I like the logos that play off the name more than I could see bumping Miami or Kansas City up.
The Dodgers to me, it's like it's been around so long, but that's the same thing with the Mets. So yeah, probably B is probably fine.
I mean, it could easily go in A, but yeah.
B is fine. I'm fine with the front end of B. That's cool.
Okay.
B.
I think this is at least a B.
Look, you have to give them credit.
They have
the Diamondback because it's a Diamondback, right? So it's like it has the pattern of a Diamondback snake, which is dope. It's just I don't like the colors. I don't know why. It's like the yellow, black, and red. It's just ugh.
Okay.
I like those colors in general, and I like them to like the Germany jerseys are kind of like those colors, which are dope. But that I don't know. Something with the Diamondbacks, I'd move them to C.
Okay. We're getting a lot of negative feedback on the Dodgers logo. I think I'm gonna have to bump it up. I'm gonna have to bump it up.
Yeah, I'd move it up to A. Right? I was saying A. It has to go ahead of the Angels. And honestly, I know the Blue Jays rebranded their logo, so we could probably move them even down to B, if you think. or at
Uh,
the end of
I get the whole movement thing. I'm still not personally a big fan of it. Um, we're getting a lot of negative feedback on the P, but like
why they think it's too high?
these are kind of iconic. Detroit's been running that forever. Milwaukee has a
Mm-hmm.
little, piece of
Flourish.
yeah. I
Flourish.
like that little thing going there for the beer,
Yeah.
and the
The
P.
roof crew.
It's just iconic. This just happened recently.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
It had to
I
be
think
done, but
part of it too that informs my thinking is like when I see the C, I'm like the Guardians. I'm like, that's a stupid team. P, Pirates. That's
Pirate.
dope.
Yeah, yeah.
This is dope, bro. It's just hard. The
I'd
Pirates,
say same with
I don't
White
know.
Sox. It
White Sox is definitely they got. I
it,
mean,
it
they might
might
be an A.
even be A. Yeah, it
It
honestly
might be
might
A,
be
bro. They're the Sox,
top
dude.
tier
Like,
A. Maybe under
seriously,
Braves.
pretty iconic, dude. I
Yeah,
go. The Twins are. I want to put. Where do you think the Twins? I want to know what you think. I think they're. I think most people probably see them as like a C or a D. I think they might be a B.
I think it's once again a C for me at most. I put them at the top. They maybe have the
Okay.
cleanest circle logo with a ball in the middle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but still, to me, it's a C.
Okay.
Like I'll say this too. A's should really be down here with all the rest of the circle logos. I'd honestly put all the circle logos together. But because it's green and gold, it gets extra points. And because it says the word Oakland, extra points. And we know that their secondary logo is better than any of these other logos.
100%.
So knowing
100%.
that, and going back to circle logos, I think the Cubs have maybe the most iconic next to the Mets circle logo. Because the Yankees don't need to have this circle. It could just say Yankees with the baseball bat and it's clean as could be. But for a circle logo, this might be a top tier circle logo.
100% agreed. The C is perfect. It's a semicircle C, right? It perfectly contours as well to the shape of that. I think it's an A, 100%.
Oh,
I'm
I
with
put
you.
an S. Want me to put an A?
It's me, S, yeah, S, what I meant. Yeah, S. I think it's S tier for sure. C,
Washington,
Nash.
I put it with the rest of these circle logos.
Mm,
And I'm not a fan
It
of
can
this
be,
one at all. I'd put that at the bottom here. Or not the
yeah, the
bottom. I put
Reds.
it I
I put
put
them a
it
C. They're a little more
I'll put it at the
iconic, I
top of
think.
D. You want to go
Okay. No, it's Sapa D is fine. I'm fine with that. I'm not like so hardcore on that. But I like this list. I mean,
Oh.
whoa, Danny Masterson.
Whoa.
Um,
Whoa. Oh, there we are.
I think only thing I would think about changing is like I guess we probably move the A's behind the Cubs. You know, probably to be fair, to be impartial, I guess. And I'd probably move the Blue Jays to the back end of the A's. But that's about it. I think otherwise it looks
What'd
good.
you say? What'd you say? Pull this up.
I would probably move the A's behind the Cubs, so the A's would be last of S, and then I'd probably put the Blue Jays behind the Angels. Yeah, I think that works. I mean, you're talking about circular logos. We could probably move the Blue Jays even down. You know,
Yeah, but the bird at least is more than just a
Bird-
name. Yeah, like
and they have the maple leaf in there, which is dope. The maple leaf is what sets it off, dog. Like right there, that maple leaf, that red one. Woo!
yeah. I mean, it's got multi things going
Cute.
for it.
It's cute. I like
Um,
it. If we did jerseys, this list would be totally different in terms of like how you know what I mean. Like the logos don't really correspond to the jerseys. Because if we had the jerseys, the Rockies might be moving up this list. Okay, and the fucking Braves might be moving down this list. Especially the Angels. God, their jerseys suck. Yeah,
Let me
how about that?
okay. Let me pull this up because we went through that pretty quickly. Let me just pull this up. We could rapid fire this. See now, if I get to this right here, first and foremost, best logo in baseball, and that's not even that one's iconic, but that's not the best.
That Braves A is gonna have to move up that list too, dog. That's an iconic. That's S tier for me.
This Yankee one drops down to a C.
Yep.
Where
That
it
Boston
doesn't have
B
the hat.
moves up.
This
That Boston B, Boston B up there. Right, well, let's go in order. We can just go in order as opposed to me like doing this like this.
all right. This
Rays.
is the original Ray logo.
Yeah, D.
Still didn't work for you. What about Marlins?
D. That's a Pirates right there, I think. Or no, it's not the Pirates. That's the
Arizona Diamondbacks, isn't it?
Arizona Diamondback.
I
Yeah.
like that
What do you
one.
think?
I'll give it
I'd give
A.
it
It's interesting. I've
a-
never
Look,
seen
the
that one.
Cleveland,
Dude, the
yeah, it's
Cleveland's
weird.
Indian, dude, maybe it's because of major leaguers, but this was iconic.
Iconic, but bro, it's too offensive for us to move it up. We can't. We cannot be the Republican National Convention of tier lists where we have the Cleveland Indians logo in the S tier. Like we can't do that.
Sadu knows I did this. I went to a game, and I called it. I said, dude, this isn't gonna last. And I bought
Yeah,
a shot glass. I got a bunch of memorabilia that has that logo on it because I was like, there's no way this stays the way it is. This is way the tide was already turning. It was like, this is happening. There's no way this is staying like this. But I agree. For the sake of the show, we'll put it at the bottom of D. But dude, that is an iconic logo. It's so over the top, like it's insane,
so over the top,
dude. And there's
bro.
older ones that are so much
So over the
even
top.
worse too. Like
Oh, dude.
that one's not that bad if you compare it to the other ones. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
How do you say
Rockies one is
Cleveland is
great, dude.
offensive, but it's totally an S tier. It is ad, but
He's right. I think
we
that
just
the way he phrased it is 100% correct. It's totally offensive, but it's an S tier offensive. You know what I mean? I don't know how you want to do that.
we'll keep it
But
in
like,
D just
yeah.
for sake of like anyone watching. Colorado Rockies is a B. It's all right.
Really?
It's all right.
Ah, man, the Rockies, the purple, the
I think,
black.
yeah, all right. I'll bump it to A. I think the Brewers dropped down. I think their other logo is better.
Yeah, there is. It is a better logo. I think the Rockies, just because the color scheme and stuff, you have to bump them up.
Okay.
The Mets, that's tough. I mean, the A's good. The Mets, that's woo.
This-
Rockies, I think A tier is fine for the Rockies.
My pirate
No,
logo.
you're putting it A, S tier?
All right, I'll put it in A. That's iconic, dude. Giganto's, sorry, dude. Even with the Golden Gate Bridge, nah.
Trash.
Seattle, Addy, you're still at the bottom. This Cubs
This looks
logo,
stupid.
I think the Cubs drop, in my opinion. I think
They
that
do.
that's
The
not as
bear looks
strong.
Stupid. No, it looks stupid. That looks stupid.
Stupid.
And that's stupid.
Dumbest thing I've ever
Utterly
seen.
dumb. I
Pure
don't care about
trash.
I don't care about this fucking Walker,
I'm gonna put this
Texas
at the
ass
top.
Ranger fucking logo. Fuck out of here.
I'll give that one. I'll put it back with the Gigantos. They can stay together. Actually, I'll put that at the top. At least it's an animal. It's something different. This Twins logo is trash. I don't know what they were thinking with that. I don't know what's going on with that. That's ridiculous. I think this goes to B because this is
Which
what
one
I.
is that again? Zoom
That's
in a little
Padres.
bit?
Padres. It's got.
Oh yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty.
And
that's
you know
pretty
what?
classy.
I'm gonna bump it in front of the Cubs because they moved up. They moved
Yeah,
up.
good call. Good. Yeah, I like that reasoning.
Like if this is what I wanted them to do, something like this for their main logo.
You know, that'd be dope.
This guy I'm not a big fan of. I'll put him in C. I'll put him ahead of these two Foley lands. It's a better.
That's right.
You know what? It's a better logo than the Reds' other logo. But taking a baseball and making it a humanoid just seems weird and dumb.
Yeah.
I think this gets bumped up, or maybe it's at least in A.
Ooh, I moved this to S, and I would move this ahead of
Okay.
the Braves, Mets, or the Rockies. This to me, bro. I actually think. Well, I do think of the D, but that Tigers logo is dope. You got the D, but you got that tiger coming. I don't know. I like it a lot. I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah, it's a good.
You
It's a
know?
good logo. It's a good logo.
Maybe the Boston B should go to S tier too.
It's interesting to see certain teams like the Yankees logo. This one's so iconic, and then you look at the secondary logo, and it's just trash. Like, is that official? I would assume their secondary logo should just be the NY, the iconic NY.
Yeah, it should be because if you were to go in to buy something, you would never want to buy something specifically because that logo is on it, like that secondary logo. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look good. You'd be like, bro, I want that's like a knockoff thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I mean Orioles. The bird looks a little thinner too. Let me point this out to you, Siddhuey. Look how chubby the bird kind of looks here. He's kind of fit on this one.
Yeah, he's showing you that, look, I might have a full face, but this body's all slim and everything. You know what I mean? Full face, but slim body.
Oh, the tiger looks like it's coming out of a cage.
That's why it's dope.
That's what Addy said.
Bro, the Tigers logo is iconic, bro. I think that is hard. Like
I'm being
hard.
told to bump the bird up. I'll bump the bird up.
Okay, bump the bird.
Just
Yeah.
one. Just one though. And you know what? I'll put them ahead of the Cubs.
My thing is, I would swap the Rockies and the Red Sox.
Rockies and
I put the B at the A tier, bro. That's an iconic B. We all know it. When you see that, you know exactly what that shit is. You know exactly what it is, bro. Like, I don't know.
I bumped the bird. Ad, what are you hollering about?
He wants it up in A.
No, it's birds in baseball is too much. Get out of here.
I like how we were like, we still kept the Cleveland Indians in the top tier of D. It's like, we'll let you know.
I moved it up there. I mean, honestly, this has got to be the bottom, and then that's got to be a close second. But I mean, let's just go here too. Seattle's got to be out here.
Yeah.
I mean, this. Let me just clean it up a bit here. Okay, that seems better.
The Brew Crew could almost be a C.
The Brewers.
Yeah, the Brew. It's not bad.
Okay. I don't know.
Horrific. Yeah, that's good, bro. That's a good list.
I'll say this too, though. You know, I almost want to bump the Giants up one more because this logo is better than their other logo with the baseball. But the one thing about it is they didn't change it much. It's still just the Giants font.
They didn't change it much, but to me, they should be swapped with the Cubs. I don't think the Cubs are as deserving of that B tier. And put them in C. C for Cubs.
Yeah, C for Kansas City Reds, and then C for Cubs.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Look at that. Tier list, baby.
Huh.
Jared and Nick D aren't the only ones who can get involved in this little thing, okay? I got some skin in the game now. So, yeah. Cool show.
Yeah. It was fun doing the little. We'll have to do football logos. It's coming up.
Yeah, next we should do it. Next week we'll have a lot more to talk about too. I mean, the NBA's coming around. We'll have a lot more to talk about that. But yeah, we should do football logos and maybe even like baseball jerseys or something. Because baseball jerseys are interesting. Football jerseys could be interesting this year. We'll see.
Yeah. That was a good episode, dude. Siddhuey puts together a nice tier list. Looking tier list. Yeah, from Jerry.
There you go, Jared. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So that's our tier list. We did both too. We got both done. That's awesome. If we're missing one of your favorite logos, or you think we did something wrong here, let us know in the comments, and we'll talk about it next week. Or I said this last time we did this. Go on tiermaker.com, make your own tier list, submit it to us, and then we'll go over your tier list while we're live.
That'd be dope. Look at that. Make producer Tubi.
All right, so that's our show. Yeah, we'll see how this football season gets the kickoff tonight, and we'll see how it goes. That'll be interesting. Yeah. We'll follow along with zeros across the table right now. We got baseball with a lot going on here, and yeah, that's it.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching.
We'll be back next week with the Siddhuey Reviewy.